The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? We're up 13 points. Of course, we were up a little bit more. But the real question is volume. We had little or none of it yesterday. And, you know, on a good day, you'll do 7 billion shares. On a very good day, 8 billion shares. Last time we were up here in this area in the S&P in February, we did 12 billion shares to the downside after we came off of it. Right now, we're doing 3.3 billion shares, which is maybe 100 million lighter than yesterday. That ended up with 5.6 billion shares. But that was it's kind of it at the moment. So what do we got going on today? Well, we're testing the highs, kind of like we did just a little while ago. 10 days ago? 10 days ago. 8 days ago. And just kind of fooling around here. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on anything, but I can tell you that why I don't know what I'll do at 3:15. The market, just like being down in Florida, you got to be ready for the hurricanes. And normally you can kind of see them coming, maybe a handful of days out, maybe 5 days out. And there's some things like warm water in the Gulf, one starting to develop off the coast of Africa and kind of heading this way. You can see them. You don't know that they're going to hit. They could hit Florida. They could hit Texas. They could hit Louisiana, and a lot of different places they can go. But you know they're kind of coming this way. And it ends up being kind of Russian roulette, and that is that every time you pull the trigger, you don't get shot. The question is, it's not maybe 6 pulls of the trigger and you know you're going to get hit. It's literally the 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50 times in the market that it goes bang, and you're very sorry that you were either short or long, depending on what the market condition is. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I worry when I see 5.6 billion shares in a big move up, as we saw yesterday. I worry when we have 3.3 billion shares as I start the show. There's some other things out here that make me think that the market is weak, and any kind of bad news would be amplified to the downside. I don't see that bad news yet. And frankly, I think if you are looking at this market and assuming that it's going to be easy to either be short or be long, I think that is problematic. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And of course, you can always put a message in the den. And we'll see. Anyway, I've been looking at the options and the way they're setting up for the September 21st expiration, and they're not painting a rosy picture. At best, a lot of these stocks show that they're going to be here come September 21st. At least the option market makers are betting that way. There's a handful of them that significantly show that there is some significant downside in some of them. And of course, September, not always the greatest month of the year. A lot of times you get rotation that's going into the fall. We've had some things that didn't go the way we wanted them over the last, well, not the way we want them, the way that they generally go. We didn't have much in the way of much in fund buying in the last round. Prices just kind of were able to stay steady. Didn't really get the kind of juice that you normally get. We went into options expiration, and 85% of the time that's bullish. And other than the last 2 days, it was exceedingly bearish during those times. Now, did we get enough shorts in the market to push this thing back up to the top? I think we certainly did. What we don't have is any clear and abiding indication of higher or lower prices, in my opinion. So I do have one long-term position in the Tech Insider. I don't see any reason at the moment to sell it, but I'm going to certainly start moving my stops up in that position. I think it's good long-term. But there's no reason to ride the thing all the way down in one big, grand blaze of glory. I always love Art Cashin's comment. And he says, men of a certain age in the stock market, when they enter the room, one of the first things they start looking at is the way to get out. So you always want to be looking over your shoulder. I think complacency is one of the things that kills more than anything else. They also, and I heard it 3 times this morning, and that is, it's different this time. And that also sent shivers up my spine. Because that's always happened before. And at the same time, I know this is not like 2008, and it's not like 2000. We do have some fairly decent earnings. Those earnings won't turn off like a spigot. But the question is, what is the right value for the market? And we're always fighting over that. What else do we have going on here? As we open up the show, let's go ahead here. We're at 2870 on the S&P cash. The Dow's up 107. The Nasdaq's up 62. The Russell's up 22. And I've already got a bunch of emails, but go ahead and send me more at path@tfnn.com. The first one I have is the blow-off top in the Russell. And I'm probably going to have to look at data tonight to see it. Of course, options rollover happens the Monday and the Tuesday after options expiration. Normally, you have 1 day up and 1 day down. We've had 2 days up, and they are selling calls out the yin-yang. Not many people buying anything to as far as risk to the downside. So as we continue to kind of keep an eye on this market, just know that it is brittle. Doesn't mean that someone's going to drop the market and it's going to shatter. But if it does go down, do not be surprised of incredibly fast markets. We have very light volume. And as I said, a storm is brewing. That doesn't mean it comes to our door. But we want to keep an eye on it. We'll be back in a minute.
Excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Thinkorswim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. And of course, time for a little bit of history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1920, the first commercial radio station began operation in Michigan, now WWJ. It's owned by CBS. On this day, the first broadcast for anybody was sent out by Professor Aubrey Fissenden on December 24th, 1906, from Brant Rock, Massachusetts. The general call CQ is heard, followed by a song, the reading of verse, a violin solo, a speech, and an invitation to report on the kind of reception. And I guess the first podcast of that, and of course, that was a Spark Gap transmitter. I don't know if anybody even remembers that, but literally it was broadcasting on all frequencies. So if you were broadcasting, no one else could hear you. But that was 1906. By 1920, of course, we had the first commercial radio station and the entrance of RCA, which is the, I think if you put together Apple and Google, I think you put those two together, you probably have the equivalent of RCA in 1920 as it started to ship a bunch of radios out. Those radios were known as farm radios because they ran on 12-volt, big 12-volt batteries. The idea was that you'd pull the battery out of your tractor and drag it into the house, hook it up to the radio, and listen to the radio that night, put it back in the tractor, run the tractor all day, and run the battery, charge the battery back up for the next night. I think it was 1923 or 4 that Motorola came along, somewhere in that area. They made a battery replacer, a power supply. Today we have wall warts, these big things we hang on the wall, but back then you needed something to take the AC for lights and turn it into DC and for the radio, and that's what they did. So it was kind of Intel and Microsoft all put together. And that was kind of the spark that really led to the irrational exuberance that came to pass in 1929. but we all look at history. And is it absolutely, does it repeat exactly? The answer is no, but it does rhyme very closely. As we talk about rhyming very closely, we're going to start looking at some other charts. Galveston, 1900, pretty brutal. Yep. So as we said before, I'm going to look at what options are telling me. They were pretty nasty for yesterday. That is that everybody was buying calls. Very few people were buying puts. And that suggests that most of those people are wrong. Not always, but 80% of the time. And of course, option market makers are the best traders on Wall Street. They have to be, or they would lose fairly quickly. But at the same time, they get a lot more information in the market, almost real time, compared to what we see, which is a lot of smoke and mirrors. And a lot of times we don't see the reality of that trading until the trading day. Wanted to look at some of the stocks that I'd been looking at this morning for potential highs. Alliance Bernstein Holdings, AB is the symbol on this one. Pretty interesting pattern out here, and that is it's not a super high volume stock, but you did go down on the 2nd of September, 2nd of August with some fairly decent volume of 911,000 shares on that big down day, and then started to head back up. You haven't had very much in the way of energy off that August 3rd low. In fact, the energy on my power law vector indicator number shows that this one has about half the energy on the way back up as it had on the way down from this June 26th high. If we compare the high that tested that June 26th high that had, what did it have? 683,000 shares. Today, we've got 168,000 shares. So this is a very good time to start watching the wheat get separated from the chaff in this market. And again, path at TFNN.com. See, do I have any more? Okay. There were a handful out here of short-term things that I wanted to look at. SMHs are up fairly strong today, and I think a part of that had to do with NVIDIA. And we talked about how I didn't really get all excited about shorting NVIDIA here with and on the back of a new product. Analog Devices is one. This is back in about halfway into the gap at almost 96.5. But again, you came down with 2.8 million shares on the 10th of August. You're back up with 1.9. It doesn't look as bad as some of these things could. You do have some of these energy stocks getting fairly close to the lows. But I wanted to go back and look at a handful of these other ones. Arcadia Realty Trust. Wanted to watch how this one was going through the June 25th high, $28.29 with 750,000 shares. Yesterday we had 510,000 shares. Today just 257,000 shares so far. So kind of weak on that point. What else do we have? RK, which is Acorn, bouncing around this $20 level. This one had been doing it for a few days. This one rolled over today and down what, $2.50 or so back to the low. But this had been one that would also had been chasing its high on light volume. Alaska Air Group with energy stocks going a little bit higher, oil a buck higher today. Seems like maybe the near-time top might be in some of these airline stocks. This one, what can you say? Just a little doji out there. What you don't want to see is a reversal candle tomorrow. So a lot of these that I was looking at earlier, no signal today, and I don't suspect that these things are going to get signals today. The signal will probably come tomorrow when options rollover is totally over. I'm just seeing a lot of stocks, some of these in the in the periphery. I wanted to find out a few more of these. There's some better ones, I think, down in the lower part of this list. Essentia Retail Group. Of course, retail's been running fairly hot. We've got a few more retailers coming out over the next couple of days. This one was kind of interesting in that it is testing its June 8th high. This is ASNA. That high at $4.74 had 10.5 million shares. Got into 3 million shares, so it about 30% of the volume, up on 800,000 shares. My guess is that a lot of these are just waiting for the next day or two as we have earnings coming out from many of the retailers in clothing. We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Had a good question in the den. He says, as you see it, is Microsoft's action last 3 weeks signaling anything other than a little consolidation? And it depends on what you mean by consolidation. What I can tell you is that it's given one of the biggest bearish signals that I know of in the stock market, and that is a Joe DiNapoli 3x3 displaced moving average double repo pattern. And that is characterized by 10 to 15 days above either a 9-day simple moving average or a 3x3 displaced moving average, a few days under it, a few days over it, and then a close back below it. Generally, that means that you're going to come right back to where the start of that was, and that means about $100 on Microsoft. So the answer is that the end is nigh? No, but 6.5% lower from here. Yeah, I think you can make a fairly decent case on that. I think that it may be implied that since Intel is not looking all that hot, that the same thing is being applied to Intel. Intel actually made a pseudo bottom. The energy is about the same on the way up, on the way down from these lows on the low on June 30th to the high on August 9th, back down to this low. Did you have a ton of volume? No. 34 million shares compared to 35 million shares. Energy is almost the same on the way up and the way down, which means to me there's got to be at least some level of consolidation. Do you have a pop today? You do, but 12.2 million shares. Not everybody getting all hot and bothered about Intel on this deal. And I continue to just think that there's a kind of a wide, broad brush on Microsoft with Intel. And I think that that's a correlation that's probably breaking, but there's still probably enough people out there that believe that correlation is there. For 30 years, they've called it Wintel, Windows and Intel, as an interesting thing. But Intel's got a bigger problem out here. That it has a one-day bounce doesn't do a lot for me. Until they get a new CEO, I don't think this thing has found a bottom. And the broad paintbrush of Intel probably going to be on Microsoft for a while. What else do we have? Any more emails? It's a quiet day at Lake Wobegon. Wanted to look at DocU. And no, they're not going to dock you anything, not dock your pay or all that. This is one of the recent IPOs I've been trying to keep an eye on. It tried to break through the highs of the 8th and 9th of August. Those had about 900,000 shares. Got a 1.1 million shares today, went up to 63.80, turtled its head right back on in and down. There's not a lot of stocks at the previous highs given very clear signals. Evolent Health, EVH on the symbol on this at $24. June 21st, $24, 1.17 million shares. You've been going up against this one for a handful of days, which makes me think you got a big seller right at that $24 level. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days that I'm going to call sideways, and that's from the 14th. Energy, okay, off the 1940 low up to this $24 low, but a lot of these stocks just look like there's not a lot of juice left. When we look a little closer into the financial, into the financials here, you've got, just a handful of days. What do you have? The 7th of this month, 900,000 shares. What was that? 73.67. And 600,000 the next day, 700,000. Now we're back over here on the right hand, 500,000. So, yeah, can you get to that 900,000? You probably could, but it looks to me like at least the directional bull financial shares, if they get close, probably still going to be 100,000, 150,000 shares light on the day. But bigger things have happened on days when there's supposed breakouts in the stock market. Let's go back and check in real quickly. We're up 12 points on the S&P cash. Dow's up 112. NASDAQ's up 56. Russell's up 22 and a half. F5 Networks, a previous high at 183.27. 1.14 million shares back on June 20th. Yesterday, 642,000 shares. Today, 290,000 shares. So that doesn't look like volume's going to come in. HBQ, slowly breaking higher. You had 7.4 million shares. What was that on Thursday last week? Really didn't do much in the downside of all that brouhaha last week. But you had a spike yesterday, only about 400,000 shares now. So in the scheme of momentum, a lot of these stocks just are trading like they're in syrup or glue. They just don't see a whole lot. We'll skip that one. Let's take a look at Royal Gold. I got a question about what's going on in gold. And you know, you got Royal Gold just kind of going sideways out here today. I think this stuff is bottom. I just think it could be 7 or 14 days of going sideways before it gets going. You came down on such large energy, and I'm just not a fan of jumping at stuff that came down on huge energy. In fact, the energy on the down low leg from this high back on June 5th, as the high had 1 million shares. You spiked that, turned right around, been selling off ever since. If you've got a low out here, and you possibly could in gold, I'm just wondering how long this thing goes sideways before it moves. For me, I want this thing to go sideways maybe 7 or 10 days. That takes you all the way into September. Maybe that's when gold gets its footing. Maybe it goes up a little bit. My worry isn't that gold hasn't hit a bottom. It's just that it goes sideways and just spends a lot of time and effort when the market may give us an opportunity to make a great deal of money. And I kind of look at maybe gold being a distraction until it does something that really catches my attention. Let's take a look at, did we talk about this one already? Spirit Airlines, again, crude up a little bit. Yesterday you had 875,000 shares. You're up on 390,000 shares today. So another move higher in these, crude a little higher. And of course, the dollars got a lot to do with that. We're off 62 cents on the dollar index. We're going to come right into support right at the $95 level. And again, man, with the dollar down 61 cents, what kind of move should you have had in gold? People were going to flood back in. I like it at low. I don't know if there's much money. We'll be back.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8255. 8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. We're going to go to David in Massachusetts. How you doing today?
Hi, thank you, David. David, I've noticed AKS is starting to perk up a little. Do you see anything going on here yet?
Well, certainly wasn't any volume yesterday. It got about the same today. So, is it going higher?
Right.
Yeah,
because I noticed it started
you basically bounced off the bottom, but to me, there's just, I mean, you had 5 million less shares at the bottom. You got a little bounce out here. I normally wait, especially when these things come off the price, and as long as a downtrend that this has been in since January 17th. Normally they'll bounce, and then you get one more low out here at maybe $4 or a little under, and that's where the big move comes out of. Normally, James Wyckoff is kind of the patron saint of price and volume trading. He called the original move off the bottom in this thing the automatic rally, and that is that there wasn't a lot of preparation, there wasn't a lot of consolidation. You just got the automatic rally. And then the big money, not that there wasn't some money, the big money was waiting for this to pull back once again and maybe have 10 million shares down there at $4. And then you take the big run higher. So, you know, could you get up to all the way $5.10? And that would just be part of the automatic rally? You could. I dislike the fact that you can put a fairly decent ruler on the last, how many days since the low, and the volume is not picking up as you move higher. Right? You see
okay.
that? So to me, it's a very light volume market, and a lot of weird things happen in these light volume markets. News, real or imagined, people playing stunts, upgrades and downgrades. A lot of times when markets are thin, a lot of people come out to play. And if I don't have a real abiding belief in one way or the other, it's just as easy to stay out as be in.
Yeah.
What,
David,
you're long this at what?
Yeah, got in around 440. But what I was looking at was back on October of 2017, it had a low of 4.
Yeah.
And now it came above, like 401 was the low, and I was wondering if that was a double bottom.
You know what? If you drop 5 million shares, that's pretty good. Your odds of bouncing extremely are better at 10 million shares than at 15 million shares. But yeah, well, you drop 7 million shares. That's kind of a coin flip. It could be a bottom. It couldn't be. It could get a retest. The thing that would tell me that the better trade, which you may or may not ever get, is one more retest of the low at $4, and you come in there with 10 million shares, maybe 11 or 12 million shares. I like to see, or let me put it this way: when I pick stocks, I look at a lot of them. I want to find stocks that tested the previous low on close to 50% of the volume. Now, you came off maybe 30% of that volume for the August 15th low, and you're going to get a bounce. But how many times do those, if you go and look at all the charts, how many times does that just mean the thing bounces for a handful of days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then comes right back down and either breaks with higher volume or comes down and there's even a lighter volume, and you get that 10 million shares, and that's where the thing goes from $4 back up to 680, right?
Okay.
So you had this long pullback from January 17th, which tends to make me always lean to the side of longer consolidations. So the answer is you can always get an automatic rally from a James Wyckoff perspective, but that doesn't mean that the big money's in it. And I want to see some very good consolidation, not for a bounce and not for 10%. If I'm playing a $4 stock, I want that thing to go to probably $6.
Okay.
But that's me. I like taking big swings, but the money. The one thing I would say is the volume remains light like this. You give to $5, I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd sell. So
right.
if the next few days comes in, you're only a dime up on this thing,
right?
And you're at the highs of the market. Those two things, to me, don't say that you can't hold on to this and make $5, but it does tell me that you're in a much more risky situation than you were a handful of days ago when we were at 2,800 on the S&P cash, right? And now we're up here testing previous highs. The market starts rolling. This will be one of the first ones that people start selling. So you have to be fairly quick on the trigger on it. I don't know. I just think that there are probably better looking positions out there, but they're all short. So if you want to be long AKS, it's not the worst one out here. And again, I don't think if you were in at $4, that would have been the buy the day after that, or even the close back above $4 on that light volume. And now at 440, it's just problematic. So you've got
I'm just wondering, David, about a short squeeze developing here while the markets are going up here too.
Well, you should have gotten something today. Should have gotten something today.
Yeah.
Right. And let's take a look at the short position on AKS. Okay. AKS. Okay. Yesterday you had 18% short for the daily short number. The day before that, 18%. The day before that, 23%. What does that look like last Thursday? 33% on the 14th. So, yeah, you got some short people on this thing. You went from 8 days to cover, though, 30 days ago in the reporting periods to just 4 days to cover. So a lot of people were getting out of this thing on the short. You went from a little over 8 million? 81 million shares short to 70 million shares short. So short interest has actually come down over the last 30 days. In fact, I think the short reporting, what's today, the 21st? I think we've got, we've got, see, that's 7 days. So the new short numbers will be out on the 24th or 25th. You want to hang on through the last break?
Okay, thank you, David.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're back. And we'll take a look. Oh, we're talking to Dave. Still there?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay. Any other questions as we wrap this up?
Yeah, I was looking at those two, the 1139 high back in around 2017 beginning, and then prior to that it got to $11.37 back in 2014. Do you think we'll see those highs again like that, or could we see a triple top maybe?
I don't see anything here
like that
would make you think that anything other than 680 would be at this juncture the best possible outcome.
Okay.
I mean, anything can happen, but I don't see anything out here. When we really look at this long term, the energy from the $4 low up to 680 on January 17th of 2018 and back down, energy on both the leg up and the leg down is the same.
Okay.
So I'm not seeing some kind of huge pullback with no volume back to the previous low. What you had was the same energy up, same energy down. You had a light volume retest of the $4 range by a penny, missing by a penny, and now you got a bounce. So again, right now you can say anything in 5 years, it won't matter.
Right. Okay.
But for me, I don't see anything that says right now that that's an issue. What you want to see is strong energy up, light volume on the way down, and you want that to basically work through and consolidate these lower levels before you even think about anything other than the last major high, which is that January 17th high. Bigger than that, you've got to get through this huge gap down that happened on 39 million shares on the 31st.
Right. Will that get filled, David?
Like I said, normally if this thing hit $5, I would be selling all over it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you're lucky enough to get $5, I think that's a big deal. More than likely, my guess
Thank you, David.
You're going to bounce around in this $4 lower range down here until it consolidates and gets ready to go higher. In the meantime,
thank you very much,
when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.